Hey everyone, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we're going to look at compression for bass guitar, and more specifically how presets can teach you how to use compressors. And a lot of audio engineers are kind of against presets, thinking you should learn the ins and outs of your tools and how to operate them in order to use them properly, and that is true. And I do highly encourage you to check out my Compression 101 video if you want a really in-depth review of what compression can do and how all the different controls of a compressor can change the sound. For today's purposes, we're going to think of compression as just general dynamic control, controlling the dynamic range of the bass track. So what you'll notice in the 3 electric bass presets in this compressor, 1, 2, and 3, is that none of them has extremely fast attack or release times. The first one is the mildest, which has pretty slow attack and release. The second preset, a little bit faster attack, but still a medium attack, not super fast. It's 2.5 milliseconds. And we've got number 3 here, which is a little bit more aggressive in terms of ratio, but not really any faster attack time. Go back to number 1 here. The reason we don't want to use fast attack and release times on bass is because the waveform is so long and has so much energy that the attack and release being too fast will cause distortion. So if I crank these all the way down to 0.1 millisecond attack and 1 millisecond release, you're going to hear some distortion. Here's the sound we get. Now, if I bypass the stock compressor and go to FabFilter's Pro C2, you'll really see what's going on with the distortion. The attack and release are set as fast as they can go here. This red line represents what the compressor is actually doing, and look how it's trying to react during that waveform. That's the distortion. Now if I take the attack and release time and move them up, watch that red line start to smooth out. So rule number 1 we learned from presets is that we don't want to set attack and release times too fast on bass instruments because that will cause distortion. Once you have the attack, release, and ratio from the preset, you can use the threshold and output gain controls to set the amount of compression you'd like. So once I set that threshold, so I'm only getting about 5 to 8 dB of compression or so, and I set that output gain to match so I'm not overdoing the signal, I really smooth out the dynamics and tame them. Here it is without the compression. And compressed. Now if I hear that attack being hit too hard, that transient, I can always open up the attack and let more of the transient through. We could take these settings and apply them to other compressors as well. So if you wanted to learn how bass compression sounds on different third-party compressors you have, take the presets, attack, release, and threshold settings, apply it to other compressors, and you can see how they react to the signal, especially if you've got different types like VCA, FET, and optical compressors. You can really hear how those different types of compression circuits react with similar settings. So there we have it, a way we can take presets on a compressor and use them as great starting points to learn how to compress bass. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.